Hello, Metabolic
Hello, it is Bella here,
and Laura.
Laura, and today we're chatting all about the hot, hot, hot summer and how
Yeah.
to beat it.
So, what to do when it's just, so hot? We've
I
got some
know.
videos for those of you also, just in case you're watching this and you are in like Australia or something and you're like, it's cold. Well, we also have videos on what to do if it's cold. So, you
Yeah,
can go check that one out. And some of these tips actually will apply to
sure.
all seasons, really, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's always important to look after yourself regardless of the weather. And these are just some general tips, but the tips that are especially important when it is very hot outside, which it is where I live. And I know where you live too, Laura.
Yes, yes. So I guess my first tip is to try to take your walk
Yes.
early. So like I will try so like off like in the winter, for example, I do my walking later because it's cold and I try to sneak it in when it's warmer. And often we recommend in our programs doing a walk as your cool down.
Mm.
But I feel like I'd rather make sure I get a walk in before it's too hot to go outside and
Yes.
then squeeze my workout in. So like I have to rearrange. I do that structured flexibility and have
I love
to
it.
rearrange my schedule. And I'll also like spend more time looking on my phone to like plan out things. So I don't feel guilty if I move a workout. So if today I know it's going to be the coolest day we have all week, and then
Mhm,
it's going to be like in the hundreds,
mhm.
I will move my indoor workout. Even if today was the day, I might skip it. It'll go a little wonky. It's okay. And I'll do a harder workout inside on a day when I need to like
Beat the heat.
stay inside for like health and safety
I
because
love.
it's really you do want it like you have to be careful.
Yes, I think that's such a good point. I mean, I want to say, the sun isn't necessarily the enemy. In fact, it's a wonderful source of vitamin D, but I think it's all, just as Laura said, about, being strategic and how you can enjoy the sun in a safe way and enjoy the heat in a safe way. So, maybe that for you is if you do want to get outside, which if you can, bear it. I feel, it's great to get outside. It's great for your circadian rhythm. It's great for the vitamin D. It's a really wonderful just relaxation and for many people a great mindset. But as Laura said, maybe that looks like for you in these hot summer months getting up early and doing that in the morning or in the evening as the sun is going down, rather than in the peak of the day when sun exposure is super high and it's also extremely hot and you're more susceptible to things like heat stroke, which of course you've got to be really mindful of. So I think that's wonderful, Laura.
Well, and when I worked, I don't know if this helps anyone. So I used to live in Florida and I used to have like an office, like I worked in an office and not from my house like now. And I know I would struggle a lot because it would be so hot and I couldn't get sweaty because I was wearing like nice attire. Maybe I had to go somewhere to a meeting or whatever. And so I would walk up and down the steps at work. I would walk around the office
Yeah.
instead. I would go, I remember once I would like drive to like Target and walk around Target for a while in the summer because it was just so hot and I needed to move and I was getting like cranky and needed a break. So you can do strategic things just like you might if it's snowing or
Sure.
it's raining um, as well. So you can still find those breaks in your day. But yeah, that is just thinking also scheduling about when you might need to
Yeah.
take a shower and maybe you can't.
I love it. I love it. I think that's wonderful. I wanted to also chat this week about hydration because
Yes,
I
please.
really feel like they go hand in hand. My kind of rule of thumb is when I am outside or exercising, or if I'm going on a walk, even if it's not at the peak of the sun, I, recommend about 2 to 4 cups of water every hour. And even better if you can choose either maybe putting a little pinch of Himalayan sea salt in your water or getting those minerals in somehow. Coconut water, organic coconut water is a little bit higher in natural sugar. So if you're watching carbohydrates, be cautious, but it's a really great source of natural electrolytes, which can be so important because when you're outside and you're sweating, your mineral balance can really be thrown off and you can feel very, very dehydrated and again, possibly deal with things like heat stroke. So definitely consume extra water, extra electrolytes at this time. Also,
Maybe stop what you're doing and as soon as go get a glass of water. If you have water, like I just did take a sip because I sometimes I know if you hear someone say water, it will remind you, oh, I don't know when I last had water, and then you'll take a sip of it. So Now
True.
keep going.
Yes, and that's a really good point, Laura. You know, don't wait until you're thirsty to start drinking water. Be proactive about this. And whether that's putting some sticky notes as a reminder, drink the water, an alarm on your phone, maybe. If you are someone who struggles to remember to drink water, and I get it, you know, Laura and I are both mothers, we are busy, busy, busy. And sometimes you can get so busy, you forget to drink water. So if you need to set reminders, do it. You know, you don't want to wait until you're already dehydrated, because again, then you're putting yourself at risk. One thing I think really is cool is that a lot of the summer produce at this time is actually, you know, foods that are actually very hydrating. And I just think that's really cool how
I
that
didn't
all
think
works.
about that, but like I just ate a whole bunch of cucumber in my salad at lunch that I had made. And I was like, oh, I was like, I have cucumber from my farm box. And I was so excited because I knew it would be so cooling.
Yes.
And that is
It's
actually
good. Like nature knows these things, you know, it's like when
yeah.
it's summer, we grow fruits and veggies that are naturally very hydrating. Like watermelon is the ultimate summer food, and it's incredibly hydrating. You know, even things like oranges and grapefruits and pineapple and fresh berries and cucumbers, a wonderful one, as Laura mentioned, celery, even all of these are kind of water-based fruits and veggies that you can include in your diet just every single day in the summer, because also, as we mentioned, they're in season, they're really delicious, packed full of nutrients and water to keep you being like proactive and on top of potential dehydration. So
And
another
that's
really
something you can add to your water. I know Dr. Johnny talks about this because some people don't like just plain water and it makes you harder to drink it, but you could make cucumber water. You could put some berries in your water if that's going to make you drink more water. Do we have any recipes actually or any videos on that, Bella? I feel like we should if we don't.
I feel like we probably do,
Like
maybe.
you might have. We'll look for you, but if we don't, she'll make you
I
one.
will. I will. I think that's a great idea. If we don't, you're right. It's important stuff. And you know, speaking of recipes in general, I think people struggle when it is really hot outside, really with cooking at all, because who wants to then heat up your oven, heat up your kitchen, and just also then be sitting there eating some sort of a stew or soup?
No, thank you.
You know, I get it totally. So, you know, really optimizing things like salads. I actually do think we have a YouTube video on our Metabolic channel that talks about meals and dinners and lunch ideas that you can actually do in the summer when it's too hot to cook. I think it's called something like that.
I think so. I think there is something on it. And then also one thing I do is so I either have like something that's salad that doesn't need as much cooking or like smaller amount, like maybe I just have to cook chicken, or I'll go the whole like just throwing it all in a sheet pan in one meal that's like all in the oven. So I'm not like standing over the
So
stove.
yeah, so good.
Because that is where it gets hot. Or
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And then it's also, again, it's not like a brothy based thing that's really hot. It's just like a cooked protein and fiber. And then smoothies and shakes at this time of year are really wonderful. I know I wake up kind of craving like a big old smoothie with protein and lots of veggies in there. I personally like to put weird things like frozen cauliflower and avocado and all
weird things. I haven't gotten that brave, but
refreshing. It's refreshing. So, you know, bottom line is that, you know, in the summer months, still nutrition is such a priority, as well as those hydrating foods. It is important that you're getting in, you know, your protein, your healthy fats, lots of lovely produce. And whether you have that, you know, in a salad, uncooked, or like Laura mentioned, something like a sheet pan dinner, that you can arrange everything that you need to make a balanced meal and just pop it in the oven and leave it and get away from the hot oven and then enjoy it at a later time. So please also just prioritize nutrition. It's really important to support your body all year round, but especially also when you might be under additional stress. Even if mentally you don't feel it, your body might be, if you are going outside in the heat, and even things like parties and drinking alcohol, stuff like that.
And you actually remind me of something good that we should touch on before we wrap up, because people's sleep gets different in the summer. I know I have a greater difficulty going to sleep, and then I'm still waking up. I wake up naturally earlier because it's lighter, and my child does this too. So could you talk a little maybe what we could be doing, or do we just, you know, what do we give up on and what can we control?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you know, to some extent, you know, sleep might be varied, just as Laura said, light creeps in. And of course, there are, you know, sleep hygiene steps that we can take, such as blackout curtains, which many people do find helpful, but not everyone has access to that. And not everyone even likes blackout curtains. You know, sometimes I go through a season where I don't want it and I want the light coming in, but it's about, you know, maybe I can optimize an earlier bedtime because I know I'm going to wake up earlier, or maybe I can make sure I'm putting my phone away. So even if I'm not sleeping, I'm still resting in the evening versus go, go, go. And again, like Laura said, sometimes you might not be able to control it. Summer is a season for most people, you know, maybe more parties or events or outdoor activities, and maybe you are going to get less sleep. So I think it's, you know, if you are not going to be able to improve your sleep by sleep hygiene or making it a priority, let's look at other ways that you can support your body in this season. Food, really good nutrition, you know, moving your body in ways that isn't going to dehydrate you and make you feel unwell, you know, but relaxation techniques and things like that to support yourself in this season until, you know, the busy craziness dies down a little bit.
So those are all great tips. So, and I meditate every year, you know, season
it.
round, no matter what it is before bed. So
I love it.
keeping those
Wonderful.
habits going strong. And I guess, do we have anything we missed?
I don't think so, but if you're watching and you're like, they've missed something, or I would love to know about XYZ, please message us and we would love to address that for you. And
We
answer.
love getting your requests for these things. So you guys asked us about this, so that's how we got it. If there's a piece of it you want us to talk more about, we can do that. Just let us know.
Absolutely.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks so
Stay
much.
cool out there.
Yes.
Bye.